Hi, I hope you are enjoying this month's series of Becoming Intentional Scientist. By now, you have understood that hard work is not the only parameter to get success. You have also audited your 48-hour log and you are ready with your ratio for maintenance versus strategic tasks. So, you have all the data ready with you. But data without a plan is just an observation. And this is the perfect moment to decide your destination and the direction. When I am saying destination, I am referring to goals. And in Catalyst Circle, we do not only set goals, but we engineer them. Many professionals fail to achieve their next professional milestone because they only focus on the result. They want that promotion, that rise, but they do not have a system to produce it. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a framework which I call as a strategic protocol which will help you to produce result. This framework has four layers. The first layer of this framework is called as outcome goals. In scientific term, we call it the final yield. Outcome goal talk about what? That big result which you are aiming for. Example could be, I want to be the lead researcher by end of the September. Or I want to be the primary investigator into that new project launch coming up next quarter. So outcome goals talk about destination. But here is a reality check. You do not have 100% control over outcome goals. Let's see it from this angle. You have done everything right into your chemical reaction, but that power outage or slight change into the raw material purity can still affect the final yield. In a very similar manner, in your professional journey, the company budget restructuring can still affect your promotion. If you only focus on outcome goals, you will spend months feeling anxious and powerless. We need outcome goals to give us a direction, but we cannot stop here. For example, in the lab, we do not wish to have the final yield and just keep on staring at the data. We break down that yield into reagents and the conditions which take us to that final yield. That brings us to the second layer of the framework. The second layer of framework is called as process goals. If outcome goals are the yield, then process goals is your validated protocol. Process goals talk about how. They are the set of daily actions which you are going to take in order to reach to that outcome. You do not have 100% control over outcome goals, but you have 100% control on the process goals. Instead of just wishing for that promotion, you can draft the process goals like I will spend 30 minutes every morning reading about the new regulatory guideline or the new technical skill. Or it could be every week I will reach to that one new colleague in different department to understand their challenges and expand my network. When you set process goals, the anxiety level drops off immediately. Why? Because you don't have to wait for months to see the success. The moment you complete that 30-minute reading of new regulatory guideline, you have already taken a step to reach nearer to the outcome goal. And that really helps to bring that anxiety level down. I know you cannot always control the promotion, but you can always control the protocol. And if you are following a high quality protocol consistently, the high quality outcome becomes the mathematical certainty. And this brings us to the third layer of the framework. This is the layer which many people ignore, and I personally feel this is a game changer. In lab, if you follow high quality protocol but beaker is contaminated, then forget about that high quality yield, right? In a very similar manner, if you have set outcome goals, process goals, but if you are continuously distracted, then you are paying tax on your own performance. In career, I feel distraction is the biggest contamination. I know you cannot always say no to those meetings scheduled by seniors or those stand up meetings, but you can definitely control the contaminations which you are bringing in. You can always control the digital contamination by putting down that phone into the drawer while you are doing that 1 hour or 30 minutes of focused work. You can still filter out the social contamination by sitting at the silent corner of the lab while you are doing the deep research work, or you can use noise cancellation headphone while you are focused on that research work. This does two things. One, you are not getting distracted by the noise into the lab. The second, you are giving a silent message to your colleagues that you value time, and that helps to change the perception around you. Believe me, in scientific careers, people value focused scientists. So if you are not getting distracted by that phone ring or the noise into the lab when you are deeply engrossed into the work, people will start respecting the way you work because they know that you respect your expertise and your time when it's needed. You are giving 100% concentration to the task which you are doing. You might feel that, but it's just a 30-second check in on my phone. How does it affect? In cognitive science, there is a phenomenon called as attention residue. Every time you switch the task, you are not losing the 30 seconds, but you are losing the momentum of your scientific thought. Your brain might take 20 more minutes to reach to that original focus. And that's how this distraction is affecting your day-to-day activities, and we don't want this to happen. And that's the importance of this third layer, the boundary layer. So if outcome is the yield, process is the protocol, then boundary is the filter. But who is behind the filter? Who is that person who is following the protocol? The fourth layer of our framework is called as identity goals. Identity goals are like catalyst. Catalyst doesn't sit at the bottom of the beaker. It changes the environment of whole reaction. in a very similar manner, identity goals flip the script completely. Many people wait for title to change their behavior, but a strategic architect changes their behavior in order to get the title. They start operating from the high standards of the next level identity. They do not wait for instructions to take actions. They start imbibing those standards in themselves. Once you start having that identity of your next level, your behavior automatically changes. You will not wait for someone to tell you to read that industry update. You will read it because you know it's important. You will not try to minimize that 40 minutes social scrolling on the bench. You will strictly avoid because you value your expertise. By setting up identity goals and by changing your identity, you are giving a message to your seniors that you are already ready for that next role. By setting up the boundary goals, you are changing the perception of you around the people. And by setting up the identity goals, you are already operating from that level. And that's how we are wrapping up with the four layers of our strategic protocol. Let's see how they look like. The first one is the outcome goals. I want to get promoted. The second one is the process goal. I will spend 30 minutes every morning to read about the new regulatory guidelines, a step which will take me closer to the outcome goal. The boundary goal, while I'm doing that 30-minute focused work, I will keep my mobile face down. The filter and the identity, I will start operating from the standards of the next level identity from now. I know setting up the protocol is one thing, but doing things consistently is another thing when the lab gets noisy, right? So on 31st of January, I am bringing a exclusive video on habit engineering. Don't miss that. And on the same day, we are meeting live for our Catalyst Circle meeting at 7:30 p.m. IST. I hope you have already registered for the live event. If not, the link is there into the description box. Register yourself for the live event, and I am really eager to have a quality discussion with all of you around becoming intentional scientist. For this week, your homework is download the strategic protocol from description and fill out your four layers. Don't try to be perfect. It's your first draft, but try to fill in all the four layers for you. And definitely we will discuss it during our live event. Till then, stay curious, be intentional, take care. Bye bye.